Oh my god. So this is going to well, I'm not going to say it, you guys can already tell by the title, but man, fuck. God, if this show doesn't end in super, I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh man. I mean, it's kind of getting that's what this is, repetitive and stale. But yeah, I mean, the episode is it's the same old. I mean, what else can I say? Well, seriously, what else can I say? It's been like this for weeks on end. I say this in every fucking review, but it's a crap episode with it's a terrible shit episode with, good moments peppered in here and there, a couple good moments peppered in here and there, and I'll talk about those. So anyway, let's start it. I'm kind of tired, so this might be like a little like blabbering, but anyway, so 118 starts off with more repetition, right? And there was a lot of like repetitive stuff in this episode, but it starts off with that, right? So I'll put it like this, right? It said that I'll say it like this, right? I'm not even going to say what it was. I'll give you like 3 seconds if you haven't watched the episodes, to decide like what they were talking about. So it starts with the Universe 2 warriors like fighting Goku, right? And they have dialogue. All right. So I haven't said what the dialogue is, right? But what do you think the dialogue was about? Right? I'll give you I'll give you like 5 seconds to guess, right? 1 second, 2 seconds, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. They were talking about, you see how I did that? All I had to say was like Universe 2 Warriors, right? All I had to say was Universe 2 Warriors, and you already knew like what they were talking about, right? And that's a fucking problem. It's once again Toei they don't know no one knows what to do with this. It's the same shit. Every time you see a Universe 2 character on screen, it's always about I love over and fucking over again. It's repetitive, overused, tired, and stale. And we have a lot more moments like that in this episode too. So, yeah. So the episode starts off with more love bullshit from the Universe 2 warriors. And the love cheering and donating, right? It's still the males transform into magical girls, right? Yeah, you heard me right. The males transform into magical girl costumes, right? The love cheering and donating still doesn't make sense, and obviously it's complete cheating, right? I've already explained why it doesn't make sense, but I'll say it again. I mean, making love into energy, like that is fairy tale bullshit. That is fairy tale bullshit. It literally is fairy tale bullshit. I can understand something like that passing in a magical girl series, but not in Dragon Ball. Even if the shtick of a character is that the fact that they are based on a magical girl, or what is it, Baishoujo Senshi, or whatever or Mahoujo Senshi, whatever the fuck whatever they call it. But yeah, the love cheering and the donating still doesn't make sense because of that, and it's obvious. It's obvious cheating, and we've had obvious cheating, and Zeno's just been like, oh, sugoi, oh, it's amazing, sugoi, wow, and then just completely wave it off because fuck rules and fuck competent writing. But yeah, I mean that's happening still, right? You have Universe 2 and the gods like waving like their fucking love sticks, and making these dudes like making planet busters, dudes who fought like terrors of the universe and everything, like struggle in a fight. And that's the prospect of that is not the problem, right? Like I've said it over and over again. Toriyama, he's a gag writer, right? And I don't know if he made these characters. I'm willing to bet like it was Toyotaro or even Toei. Like before I get ahead of myself, right? Most of the fighters that we've seen in this tournament, I'm betting at least half of them are Toei only like people, right? But in the case of this happening, if Dragon Ball the original manga were still running in the 90s, right, and there was a character who was introduced, let's say he was a male, right, and his power was to transform into a magical girl, right, and he would beat the shit out of someone, I would be okay with that because I can believe that Toriyama in the 90s would have been able to like make that believable within the context of Dragon Ball, right? He wouldn't have had like all like these waving stick and love turning into power and that making like them like transform into like you know what I mean. He would have done it through a lot more like organic, sensible Dragon Ball-esque way, right? And the reason I say he would have done that is one, because the prospect of that is funny, and two, he actually could competently write, right? He wouldn't have done like this fairy tale bullshit like love into feelings. Like fuck that, right? That's garbage. That's bullshit, right? Anyway. So the males transforming into magical girls, like, yikes, right? And again, it sounds like something Toriyama himself would do, but the way in which it was expressed in this episode was ass, with the dancing and the loves, and actually no, not even the dancing. It might have just been like the overused music, like the same animation, the same music, and for some reason they got I don't know why they got the same clothes. Like I don't understand that. Like, why did they get the same clothes? You know? That is, I don't know. And the other thing is, like, it totally doesn't fit their character. Yes, they can be fighting for love, like the universe too, like that Yardrat. He was fighting for love, right? But you look at how these characters are designed, like, you wouldn't, like, it's just so, like, out of left field for that. It feels completely, even though they're not really, like, written, they're not really, like fleshed out characters or whatnot, but this thing happening to them is so, like, out of left field. It feels completely unnatural for them to happen. I would have expected this guy to, like, you know, like the big blue guy, the guy who looks like Rildo. If he would have, like, taken off his hat or something, or taken off his clothes, right, and then gotten more powerful because it was weighted, and then he had, like, hearts or something coming out of it because then they were, you know, something like that, then I would have been okay with it. That would have been not the most believable thing, but somewhat believable because it's Super, right? Or at least believable within Super standards. This is just, like, fucking retarded. So stupid. And then the Universe 2 Kaioshin denotes this as a transformation. And yes, I mean, obviously, if you're going to donate love, for some reason, in Super, if you're going to donate love and make it ki and energy. I can't even believe I'm saying this. I can't believe, like, in a Dragon Ball video, I'm saying love makes ki. I can't even speak right. Love increases how strong a person is, right? So obviously, them receiving Universe 2's love somehow makes them stronger, like Ribrian and all that. But it's not a transformation in Dragon Ball terms. If only the clothes change. Only the clothes change. And now, obviously, their power, but that doesn't count. A transformation in Dragon Ball is like Frieza transforming, Cell transforming, the Saiyans transforming, right? Even though it's only a hair curl. You know, like, those are transformations. Getting new clothes through love, that's not a fucking transformation. And yeah, it was only like a one-bit, like, throwaway line, but still, it was annoying as fuck to listen to that. For them to actually say it and hear that and have that go through your fucking brain and process that. Goku going along with the androids act, I liked that. That was funny. As is the most case with Super, I'm not, like, Super has never made me like like laugh out. You know, like, that's reserved for shows like Gintama or Bobo, you know, or Cromartie High School, something like that. Goku going along with the androids act, like, that was funny. Like, it brought out, like, a small chuckle at me. That's it. So it was a good moment, but nothing, like, amazing. It wasn't an amazing moment, that's for sure. It definitely wasn't an amazing moment. But it did get a chuckle out of me because, yeah, I thought it was funny, and you know, yeah. So anyway, then we go to Gohan and Piccolo versus the Universe 6 Namekians, right? There's more repetition, right? As this this is a very, like, I mean, it's a theme of the show, repetition, and not a good theme of the show, but especially in this episode because this Sao Noel or Perina, whoever, yeah, it's Sao Noel, right? Who is the skinnier Universe 6 Namekian, he uses a Keyblade. And once again, we have an already overused technique being used. It's incredible to me, right? This is true for the Mankanko Sampo too. It's incredible to me how a Keyblade, this attack, and this is the problem with this show. Like, when you overuse attacks, it loses its special meaning when you overuse something, and the Keyblade has been overused. Kasserol from the Pride Troopers has used it. Goku Black obviously has used it. Zamasu has used it. Sao Noel has used it. I'm pretty sure there's other characters that I'm forgetting that have used this too. Whereas in Z, it was only Salza from a non-canon Cooler movie, and if you want to count him, Vegeta with the Keyblade. Those were the only two characters. There were only 3 instances in the original series where a Keyblade was used, right? And if you go to the games, maybe Kula and Budokai 3 and Infinite World, where, you know, maybe, you know, those were, like, really, like, the only other times, right? But here, it's just been fucking used, and it's just so frustrating to see the same shit over and over and over and fucking over again. And this is a big reason why this show fucking sucks why this series fucking sucks at the end of the day. It's even the Kamehameha, right? Even the Kamehameha. I can't. It's just so depressing for me as a Dragon Ball fan to like sit through this every week, right? And you know, people are gonna be like, "Oh, why do you watch it?" I mean, I'm gonna give you the you keep asking that question. I'm gonna give you the same answer. I watch it for the same reason I watch Evolution and I watch GT. It sucks, but I want to know what happens. It sucks, but as a Dragon Ball fan, I want to have information, as much information as I can about a series. Because I like Dragon Ball as a franchise as a whole at the end of the day. Even though GT and Super and Evolution sucks, the original manga, the original product, what actually counts and matters is good. So, yeah, anyway, I don't want to get into that. So we'll talk about that later. But then we also learned that these Namekians have fused with so many warriors, and this just made me like fucking facepalm and God, I literally I felt an urge like I wasn't doing this just because like I felt like because like I was trying to be cliche or whatever. Like I literally felt an urge in my neck when I read that line. When I read that line, right? When I read that line of dialogue in Crunchyroll subs, right? Which I was watching on, which I wasn't watching on Crunchyroll, by the way. I was just, because I said, I don't support Super. I'm not going to give them fucking money, right? But I was watching, like, on another site. But I was reading that line. And I literally felt an urge back in my head to, like, go like this and facepalm and, like, hold, like, the bridge of my nose and shit. Look, fusing with the 100 plus Namekians, and it didn't even give a number, it just said many, but I'm just saying 100 plus, you know, just to, anyway, fusing with many Namekians, right? It's one of those things where it's probably entirely possible to do, like, nothing should stop Piccolo at least from doing that, but it's still so dumb to be done as a plot point, for a number of reasons. One, it's obvious as fuck. Since Z, people have been asking why can't Piccolo fuse with all the other Namekians to get stronger, and obviously the case is, you know, at least in Universe 7, Nail was pretty much like the last warrior Namek left, right? Or the strongest one left, because obviously the Namekians are revived with Porunga, and they go live on New Namek, but it's one of those things where, like, they're so weak that it doesn't matter, right? So that's the other thing, like one, it's such like it's obvious, right? Like there's no like, if you wanted to make Piccolo a stronger character, you know, people have been talking about this, like him having fused with other Namekians, but fans have been talking about that for the last like fucking 12 years, ever since Z ended, no 14. When did Z end in the US? Fucking 2003 with Tsunami, right? Or 2005, whenever it was. No, 03 it was. It was 03. 14 years people have been asking why didn't Piccolo fuse with like all these other Namekians to get stronger or whatever, right? At least in the United States. And, you know, there have been some answers here and there. But it's just like, it's so obvious. If something is so obvious, you don't do that. Or at least you don't make it mysterious. And it really wasn't a mystery in this episode. But it's just like, it's just one of those fan services. It's so obvious. It's one of those things out of a fucking 10-year-old fan fiction. 10-year-old, it's straight up fan service. It's fan service bullshit. You know, it was fan service, like Toyotaro was saying in his interview, right, for the Zamasu arc, when Vegito came back because of fan expectations. This is another example of that. It's fan service. It's fan service fucking, it's fucking fan fiction bullshit. And granted, the Universe 6 Namekians are obviously different from the Universe 7 ones, right? So maybe they have like a warrior clan who, and granted the fact that at least Piccolo as a Super Namek was stronger than a regular Super Saiyan, right? Maybe everyone on fucking Universe 6 is a fucking Super Namek. Who knows? But at least give us context. At least it doesn't have to be like the Namek arc where you go through like their whole culture, or that you have to know, like, oh, they only drink water, or whatever it is. But at least give us some sort of, like, just something, some sort of plot point, something, to at least justify this. You know? At least to justify how fucking strong. And it's not even the power scene, it's just the fact that they went ahead and did that. And that's the thing. If you could fuse, then why didn't Purina and Sao Noel, why didn't they fuse together in the end? Just have one of them use the body and go find like another fucking fighter. And not to mention, if we go by Universe 7, there's not only warrior Namekians too. There are Dragon Clan members. I bet you. I'm not sure if this is going to be in the manga, right? I hope it's not in the manga. I sincerely hope it's not in the manga, right? I hope if Toyotarou knows what's good for him, right? Or if he knows what's good for the manga's quality, he will have these Namekians just be strong, like through training, and maybe they'll fuse with like maybe 2 or 3 other warriors, like from the Universe 6 version of Namek, right? To fuse with many though, like that's just for some fan service bullshit. It would be so much more better if they had like fused with maybe like 2 or 3 members each, right? And then trained with you know what I mean? It would have been so much better if it was like that. But I'm willing to bet whoever wrote this, like, they forgot about the Dragon Clan members. I bet you this is supposed to include fucking the Grand Elder, the fat bastard Grand Elder of Universe 6. They fused with fucking Mori. They fused with fucking Dende and Cargo also. You know what I mean? It's just so stupid. They fused with the who else? Not Nail. I'm forgetting the dude's name. I already said Mori. What am I saying? It's so stupid. It's oh god. Fusing with the 100, and again, it's not so much that it messes with the lore, right? That it's contradictory. It's just one of those obvious fan plot points. And obviously we've been getting a lot of that in Super anyway, whether it's Vegeta being fuck Kakarot, or Broly being in some form canon, or multicolor-haired Super Saiyan forms, bullshit like that. But oh goodness Christ, Vegito comes back and okay, take a bite of chocolate. And the bullshit doesn't end there. For some reason, for some bullshit out of the ass reason, these Namekians, they gotta wait for their bodies to stabilize the ki. What the fuck? Piccolo never had a problem with this. My god. When Frieza, dude, Piccolo fused with both Kami and Nail, right? And was able to challenge Frieza in a form where he could blow. That's another thing about Super. That's another thing about Super. There's not enough planet destroying it. I mean, I sound like a dub chart right now, but like that's not what I'm trying to say. In throughout all of Z, right? And I say specifically Z because, like, that's the scale of power that we're dealing with, right? And ultimately, at the end of the day, Dragon Ball is a series about fighting and powering up, and like that kind of. It's a series about action, and you need an appropriate scale. And the other thing I realized just now is that Super, there's not enough planetary destruction. There really isn't. With Boo, him blowing up the Earth, seeing explosions from Earth, there's not enough of that in Super in 110 episodes. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it blows up at the end of the Revival of F episode. Maybe you see one explosion, right? When they have the baseball match, but really, that's about it. Really, that's about it. Oh, like, that's another reason why Battle of Gods was good, actually, right? Because Battle of Gods, like, you could feel like, oh, the Earth was, like, in fucking danger, but... Anyway, I'm kind of going off topic, but for some reason, these Namekians gotta wait for their bodies to stabilize. Of course, the obvious difference is that the number of people used to fuse is different. I mean, whereas with Piccolo it was only 2 people, with Pirina and Sanael it was like many warriors, however many that was. But that's just an unnecessary line of dialogue. Like, it's unnecessary. Why would you say that you gotta wait for your bodies to, like, where? That's literally something they just made up on the spot. Piccolo had no problem assimilating Kami and Nail, right, into his body, and then becoming like super strong straight up off that, right? He didn't have any problem with that. And now for some reason, oh, these guys gotta wait for the. But again, like, it's a very like small throwaway line of dialogue, but still, it's just unnecessary line of dialogue. And I realize now, like, why like these lines of dialogue about Universe 2 and their love, and not only for this episode, but like some of the other previous episodes, These are lines of dialogue used to fill the episode so that it meets its runtime, and so that the arc can last till March. That's all it is. None of these are like meaningful lines of dialogue. Well, I mean, I guess in the case of like this, like the body stabilizing, it's a little different. So maybe what I'm saying is like probably, not maybe, or probably, it is wrong like what I'm saying, but it's just like, come on, man. What the fuck? You gotta wait for your bodies to stabilize to assimilate it? When Piccolo didn't have a problem with this? Just because the numbers are bigger? Really? And like what I was saying about the Keyblade, of course Piccolo has to use the Makanko Sappo again. It's not like it's been overused and stale. And to go back to this argument, it's crazy how that attack and so many other signature attacks in the series, like the Final Flash or whatever, the Gallic Gun especially for Vegito, these attacks have been used more so in Super than they have in the entirety of both Dragon Ball and Z. Gallic Gun was used twice in Z. It was used fucking twice. Once when Vegeta used it, obviously in that famous Kamehameha Gallic Gun clash, right, with Goku in the Saiyan arc. And then a second time by Cell. 2 fucking times. And this attack has been used way more than that in Super. The Makanko Suppo was used once. No, twice, excuse me. Twice, maybe 3 times in filler. Right? I think maybe 3 times filler. Like once, obviously, when he kills Ratatouille. Then I'm sure like the other 1 or 2 times was from like Cell. But that's it. That's it. Oh, and I'm thinking about Bootanks. He used it against Gohan. That wasn't in the manga though, if I'm not mistaken. But the point is, that attack has been used more in Super than it has in the entirety of Z. And you know, obviously because it's I shouldn't even say Dragon Ball Part 1, but it's yet another reason why this show sucks. Because over-reliance on named attacks is a problem that shonen in general have, and Dragon Ball as a manga never had that. The Big Bang attack was only used once. The Genki Dama was only used 3 times in 519 chapters. The Masenko was only used a handful of times. Less than 5. Maybe twice by Gohan, right? Wasn't it only used twice? Yeah, it was only used twice. Once against Frieza in his 2nd form, or 3rd form, and another time against Nappa. Right? Unless I'm forgetting something. Even the Kamehameha was barely used more than 3 times in any given fight. I think only reason I say 3 is because Goku used it against Frieza 3 times. Once when he was underwater, twice in the 20 times Kaioken, and then 3 when he was a Super Saiyan. I think those are the only 3 times. I could be wrong, but even against Cell, how many times did he use the Kamehameha? Goku used it once. Gohan used the Kamehameha twice against Cell. You know, it's not an overused attack. Boo only uses it once. Gohan didn't even use it against Bootanks. That's the frustrating part, man. It's still, I can't take, like, I mean, somehow I put up with this for 118 episodes, but it's oh my god, man. It's just terrible. I feel insulted as a Dragon Ball fan to sit through this. But again, like I said, I still do it because I like Dragon Ball as a whole, even though Super sucks. And I've given my reasons, and they're very valid reasons. Anyone that says like, "Oh, you hate it, so why do you keep watching?" Like, they're a fucking idiot. Like, they're not thinking when they say that. Of course, like, I mean, if you say that you hate it and you're not as big a Dragon Ball a fan as I am, right? You just watch it just to like. I mean, there are reasons to watch something that you hate just to make fun of it, or you know, those are all valid reasons as far as I'm concerned. But again, as a Dragon Ball fan in general, I watch this, right? For the same reason I watch GT and Evolution. I know it's shit, but I want to know what happens. I know it's shit, but I want to know what happens. And that doesn't only attest itself to Dragon Ball, it attests itself to Star Wars and the prequel trilogy, episodes 1 through 3. It attests itself to Teen Titans fans and Teen Titans Go, you know, something like that. or Family Guy, or who sits through season, like, I don't know, what is it, like season 11 or whatever. Things can suck, but you can still want to watch it. Just saying. Same reason I played fucking Arkham Knight. Arkham Knight, I didn't know it was gonna be ass, but even though I was unimpressed with the story, like halfway through, I still ended up like 100%ing the fucking game because I like the other two Arkham City games. So that whole, again, I'm going off topic here, but that whole argument is just like fucking stupid to me, right? But the thing is, we're not even done with this. I don't know if it's. Let me take water. It's like me in a One Piece fan. One Piece Film Gold. It wasn't going to be written by Oda. I knew that. Yet I still watched it. I didn't know. I probably guessed like it wasn't going to be that good, but I still watched it anyway. Anyway, I don't know if it's Crunchyroll subs or not for this next part, but oh my god, Gohan has some like aneurysm-inducing, nosebleed-inducing. I don't know how to react to this kind of line of dialogue. He says the vitality of the Namekians has gone up since the stabilizing, so he doesn't have to worry about trying to kill them, i.e. going full power. Oh god, I didn't know what to do here. Okay, on one hand, this establishes Ultimate Gohan is massively stronger than both these two Namekians, right? But yet again, Super has a funny way of contradicting what is said, like what they were saying with Base Saiyans in Universe 6 when Kaba fought Vegeta, and you watch Kaba versus Vegeta in the anime of Super, and you can very clearly tell that in their base forms, they're not even remotely comparable, right? And it's, yet again we have the case here, because Gohan, when he's fighting these two Namekians, is clearly not shown to have a massive advantage. Yeah, like he's able to like block their key attacks and everything, but he's still struggling on some respect with them. And that shouldn't be happening. The vitality part threw me off because like I was like, vitality, what the fuck? But then like it would have been better if they just went on and said like power or power level, you know? Like why did they have to say vitality? Like I was thinking like Piccolo, when he fused with Kami and Nail, his vitality, his life force didn't necessarily go up, you know? That didn't make him like have more life. What the fuck? It was just like the worst line of one of like just. Oh god. Anyway, this Jiro-looking bitch, the one who transformed into a Rosie, I think it was, he brings back the Yachina Fist, and I've already explained why that attack is trash. I'm not going to do it again here, but if you want me to, I'll say it in the comments, right? That was bad. The Kami, and we actually get to a good part now, finally. The Kami nail part was cool, yep. The Kami nail part when Piccolo was kind of like in a daze, or he was like KO'd or whatever, that was cool, right? Yet kind of unnecessary and overdramatic. You know, like, this would have been better if this was used in a situation where Piccolo was like in an extremely dire scenario. Like, say if he would have, like, say he would have been blasted by Cell back in the Androids arc, right? Remember when he was trying to have 17 escapes so that he wouldn't be absorbed by Cell, and he got blasted through his torso and he was tossed into the ocean and shit? If there was a scene of him like there, right? He was knocked out. He wasn't dead, but he was knocked out, and he was like in this ephemeral like blackness. And then he sees the silhouettes of Nail and Kami, and they point him towards like a light. And through that, he reaches like the beach from where Goku or like the shoreline from where Goku saves him from. That would have been 100 times more appropriate than this, because Piccolo, he takes this mouth blast, right? Which I'm pretty sure was a homage to Nappa, because it was a mouth blast from Purina, and the places between Gohan and Piccolo were like swapped. And Gohan actually blocks it, and not in the same pose, but kind of similar, like the way that the legs are drawn, and he's using both his arms and everything. But the thing is, like, Piccolo, like, he's knocked out, but it's just like, it takes him like 2 seconds to like recover from that shit, you know? There's no visible damage on his body, no fatigue marks, no blood, no scratches, no nothing. So, I mean, it's cool. Like, I like seeing Kami. You guys already know how I feel about my boy Kami. I've already said that he's like the most underrated character in Dragon Ball. And I made a video, a character analysis on him, explaining why. You guys can go and check that out. And so it was a cool moment, just kind of unnecessary and overdramatic, and would have been way more appropriate if a moment like that would have been used, like what I was saying between Piccolo and Cell. Now we go back to more trash. The black hole attack. The black hole heart attack. That was trash. Somehow these Universe 2 warriors who inherit the power, right? They inherit this transformation technique, right? From the maidens, their signature users, and they come up with this attack. This black hole heart attack, which said maidens, Ribrianne, Rosie, and the Kakunsa, these three couldn't do. They couldn't do this attack, yet somehow these Universe 2 warriors are able to do that. Though to be fair, I will be fair here. They are receiving the power of Universe 2's love. But again, that brings up another question: why didn't the maidens, right? Why did they never receive all of Universe 2's love at any given point? Not just in the Tournament of Power, but even before the Tournament of Power. You would have thought, like, for them being like the actual maidens of Universe 2, that they would have used this attack on like some fucking opponent. So why it never happened with them, I don't know. But so that's another reason why this shit is trash. But the main trash thing about this are like the seconds and frames where you see Goku and the androids 17 and 18 being held down by said black hearts. Literally, there's like you see 17, Goku, and 18. They're kneeling on their knees, being affected and inhibited by black hearts with gravity marks. Literally, this is some fanfic image. Like, if I were to show that, like, I have friends who don't watch Super, right? I have friends who don't watch Super. But if I were to show them that this was an actual image, that they were being hurt by this attack in some respect, and I were to show them to this, they would call bullshit on me. They would say that I am lying. How the fuck are they being affected by black hearts, right? This is something fucking Google images. It's fucking fanfiction bullshit. And anyone that likes it, I'm sorry, you are not to be taken seriously. Just imagine watching and reading all of Dragon Ball Z, Pilaf arc, all the tournament arcs, King Piccolo arcs. Am I forgetting anything? No. Piccolo arcs, tournament arcs, Pilaf arc, Red Ribbon Army arc, all the Z arcs, Saiyan, Namek, Androids arc, Boo arcs, and then you see this shit. The gravity part of it doesn't really bother me though, since I think it's appropriate for like planet busters like Goku 17 and 18 to be inhibited by gravity stuff. You know, so it's not so much that, I mean, it is kind of weird. Like they made an attack that can somehow like Ki became gravity, so for some reason. I guess that's a little weird, but even then, like, it's because you know you see Vegeta training in like what 300, 400 times Earth's gravity, so it's not like, you know what I mean. So yeah. Anyway, but and the other thing, for some reason, Goku can't use instant transmission. I don't know why. It's not, you know, Vegeta's like right outside. Just focus on his fucking ki and go. Like I don't know why that was a thing. I don't know what Hiroshi Yamaguchi is thinking when writing this shit. But yeah, the Universe 2 erasure, that was pretty bad. The Universe 2 erasure was terrible. They have epic music playing over something which is trying to be funny yet isn't, because the Universe 2 maidens are gonna be like they're about to get erased, and they're telling their universe, like, you'll remember us for our love, but obviously they won't because they're about to be erased. So, but the music is so, like, inappropriate. It's so inappropriate. These dudes are about to die. They have epic music playing over something which is trying to be funny yet isn't. I'm not laughing. No one's fucking laughing. I cannot believe the incompetence of Toei Sentai. I mean, they like, whoever's the fucking music like placement person, or whoever like chooses to like score the scenes for every single scene in Super, right? They need to be fired. This was bad. This is almost as bad as like the choice of music that played when the Earth was destroyed in Super during the resurrection of F arc. That was horrible. That was horrible. That was terrible. That was like, oh my god, that music was so bad. Or well, actually no, it's not that it was bad. It was inappropriately, horribly, incorrectly placed. Dude, that music sounds like you're like a fucking like god or hero that's coming to like save the world. You got like this new form, and instead you're playing it over the earth being fucking destroyed. And now you have like a similar sounding song playing when the universe is going to be destroyed? Anyway, but thankfully the Universe 6 reaction was a little bit better. Beerus's reaction to Champa's death, that was perfect. That was perfect. And Ernst actually had a cool little tweet about it, because he was saying Beerus said say something, and people were thinking that Beerus was telling the narrator to do that, but when I watched it, I didn't think the it was directed towards the narrator. I think he was just telling Champa to say something before before he dies. So, but unfortunately, if I had to guess, like, these guys are going to be I can't deny the I would be shocked if these guys aren't revived. Well, actually, no, I wouldn't. It's not that I wouldn't be shocked. If Universe 6 is revived at the end, then Beerus's reaction to Champa's death is meaningless. Like, this whole thing is meaningless. It's fucking meaningless. So, well, no. Actually, no. It might. Actually, no. It is meaningless because Beerus is probably planning to resurrect whoever with the Dragon Balls anyway. So, and probably Goku for that matter. So, anyway. Then we get to the end of the episode with Vegeta being mad. So this makes sense within Super because he wanted to visit Planet Sadala and Universe 6. But again, and per part, anything to do with Universe 6ins and Universe 6 Saiyans and Vegeta and Saiyan Pride and that sort of thing, these guys flanderize it to like not even Namekians. They just get the whole thing wrong. Seriously, Vegeta should not be like this extremely like proud, longing for Saiyan, for Saiyan life. Like, he shouldn't be like that. But obviously, these writers, Hiroshi Yamaguchi, Toshio, they don't understand this. So they always have them go like Saiyan Pride over and over again. So yeah. But I mean, I guess it makes that sense within Super. It's not. I mean, I would have been more. Actually, no. Whatever. Who cares? That's the end of the episode. I can't take this anymore, guys. Like, it's. I really hope this show ends in Super. I sincerely hope this show ends in Super. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, man. I can't, what can I say? This show fucking sucks. It's a disgrace to all Dragon Ball. It's a disgrace to Dragon Ball fans. It's a disgrace of a show, and generations, I think like many years from now when they go back and they watch Super, they'll just be like, they'll be disappointed by it, like they are with GT or whoever. So yeah, it is what it is, I guess. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys whenever. Can't believe this shit.